She's Maria.
And she's Tara, and you're watching the very first episode of Summer in the Moon.
Over the next few weeks, we will be portraying the vibrancy and diversity right here in Ballymun, and hopefully challenging a few stereotypes along the way.
And to start off the series, we're paying a visit one of Dublin's biggest cultural hotspots, Access Ballymun.
The Access has been Ballymun's cultural heartbeat since 2001. The centre hosts a cafe and fully stocked bar,
A gallery space,
a dance studio, a 220-seat theatre, the recording studio. Access is more than just a cultural space, it's more a symbol of Ballymun. Do you find this makes your job easier or harder?
I suppose Access acts as a cultural hub in Ballymun. It's the Arts and Community Resource Centre just on the main street, glass-fronted building, so it's a very welcoming place. It's a place that has a theatre, dance studio, recording studio, with a creche, conference centre. It's got 10 or 11 community tenants. So I suppose it's a hub of activity within the community.
Access is more than just a cultural space, it's more a symbol of Ballymun. Do you find this makes your job easier or harder?
I think it makes it kind of deeper and I suppose better in a way. I mean, I think an awful lot of places and people shy away from responsibility, but I think, you know, Access was built by the local community for the local community. So I think, what else would it be? So I think that responsibility is a very, very good thing.
What sort of projects have you got lined up here for the summer?
Tonight we have a new thing we're starting, which is kind of called Girls' Night Out, which is you can kind of come and do a dance class, have a glass of wine and go and see a film and dance with the film. So that's kind of starting tonight with Slumdog Millionaire. We have David McSavage tomorrow night, who's kind of the great comedian from the Savage Eye. And then next week, for 2 weeks, we have one of Ireland's foremost aerialist, trapeze kind of circus artists coming in for 2.5 weeks of a residency. So we're going to be using our theatre, and at the end they're going to be giving workshops to the local community. They're going to be putting on the show. So that's kind of in the next 3 weeks. We've loads.
What has been your most fulfilling project over your time in the Access?
The most fulfilling project, there's been a lot of them. I mean, that's kind of the pat answer. But I just remember we brought a group over from Liverpool, a group of rap artists and DJs and an orchestra leader. It must have been nearly 5 years ago now, and they worked with about 16 or 18 kind of local young people, 14 to 20 years of age, in rap and music, and another 10 or 15 in orchestra music. And I remember just looking at them, especially the young lads doing rap, and they're about 14, 15 years of age, and there's about 6 of them that really got into it, and they were standing on the stage with their A4 pads, and they were basically, through rap and through their poetry, talking to their parents who were sitting there in the audience watching them. And some of it was great, some of it they weren't too happy with, but the parents were loving seeing their young people express themselves. And so it was that moment that really kind of brought home to me the importance of, not just in Ballymun, but the importance of arts and culture and giving someone a voice. Quite simply, here's a space, here's an opportunity, and then not only that, but actually making them work to make their voice better. So to me it's not good enough going, you go and do drama up there and you do drama, but actually it's pushing you.
Maria, you know how we said we were going to be challenging the stereotypes of Ballymun?
Yes, that's right.
How come our next report shows young fellas beating the unmerciful crap out of each other?
Because it's all done in a good cause, as I found out recently. Watch and learn.
We're trying to do a fundraiser. We're doing a white collar boxing night. It'll be on in the Regency Hotel, Dublin, on the 14th of July, and we're a local club from Ballymun. It's for a bit of pre-season fitness training as well, not only just for the money raising. So when we go back training next week, all the lads will be fit, ready to go.
These are not actual boxers, they football teams.
Yeah, football teams. Some of them have done boxing before, but not a lot of them. Some of them you can see, but they're very good boxers. Our 11th season we're in Ballymun, which is it's a very hard place to play. There's a lot of big clubs in Ballymun and Sandy Hill. It's very hard to keep your teams going over time. But we're lucky enough that we have, and to be honest, in junior football, money is a big thing. With the recession hitting, it's hard to get sponsorship, so you have to do other things. Like our main sponsor is Elite Oakland, Fisborough, and without them, we wouldn't even be here. But you need additional money. We have 4 teams. It's very hard to survive in this day and age. It's very expensive to play football.
Yeah, and where can you get the tickets from?
Where can you get them from?
Yeah.
You can get them from the club. You can contact Thomas or myself on Facebook at St. Pat's Phoenix.
Oh, so you're on the Facebook as well?
Yeah, we're on Facebook. And it's no problem. Loads of tickets to be about 600 people at it. So we're good to go.
I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming out to see us.
No problem.
You get to see a bit of Spartan
I
now in a
will
minute.
like you on the Facebook, definitely.
you have to.
I will spread the word. Right?
Yeah. Spread the word, St. Pat's Phoenix.
Okay, thank
you.
you.
Welcome back. We are huge fans of recycling here at our studio, as you can see from our cushions.
That's right. In fact, this studio used to be the living room at flat 112 Salogue Road. Maria and I dismantled the entire thing brick by brick last week.
But the guys at the Rediscovery Centre in Shangan have turned literally recycling into a fine art, as Tara discovered or rediscovered the other day.
How'd you turn this into this? Well, either you use a jump cut like we just did, or you can come here to the Rediscovery Centre in Ballymun. I'm here with Ger, who is the manager here at the Rediscover Furniture. So can you tell us a little bit about this place?
Yes, this is a workshop that we have here in Shangan at the moment. We moved from Poppentry. My predecessor had set up the project in 2006, and I took over 2 years ago, and we've expanded and moved down here into Shangan. The project here, we take items that are no longer wanted by the public, and rather than them going to landfill, we take them in, repair them and sell them on here to the public at very nominal prices.
And you use the term rediscovery rather than recycling or refurbishing. So what is the significance of that?
Well, the Rediscovery Centre is a project here in Ballymun that has many legs to it, one of which is the furniture recycling. We have a clothing design label, a clothing re-altering section as well. We have recycle bike and we have recycled paint as well. So that's the Rediscovery Centre encompasses all that, and Rediscover Furniture is just our element here, the workshop we have going here, where we repair the furniture and sell it on.
Well, as well as being a green enterprise, this is also very people focused. What kind of training do you provide?
Well, part of our project here, we run a community employment scheme. There are eight men at the moment working, and they get trained in all aspects of furniture repair and restoration, from French polishing to how to use glue and veneer. Also, we do reupholstery, painting, furniture stripping and all that sort of thing. So they get quite a wide training with us. And the men would work for 19.5 hours per week, which is a normal community employment scheme.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you give us a tour around the workshop?
We could, of course, yeah.
So, Ger, what can you tell me about this? This looks like a really interesting piece.
Yeah, it's a nice little sideboard. It has a mirrored back on it as well, so there's a nice little oval mirror on the back of that as well. It's a sideboard. I think it dates roughly around the 1940s. It's in good condition, no woodworm or anything like that in it, and it just came in. It was quite dowdy looking.
Yeah.
So we decided to give a new lease of life. Then the thing it's a makeover, exactly. It's another nice piece that'll get a whole new lease of life rather than something ending up in landfill. You know.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it'll be lovely.
That's all from us at the Rediscovery Centre. If you want to look them up or keep up to date on their activities, just go to rediscoverycentre.ie. Now, sitting beside me is someone regular viewers of DCTV and anyone who really hangs around Ballymun will recognise good old Dean Scurry. How are you doing?
Sorry, you said that like you know me. What's the crack? You well?
I'm very well.
Good.
Now, come here. You do so many different things, I couldn't even begin to describe them. So, would you give us a little description?
Yeah, all right. So I do loads of things, and mainly it's got to do with keeping me happy and entertained. But it just so happens that it's of benefit to other people and the community as well. So I run a comedy club. I'm trying to open up an outdoor BMX park. I manage a hip hop label. I make a show called Dole TV. I do loads of great stuff in the community, artsy, fartsy kind of ways.
Very good. Now, it sounds like you got your finger in a lot of pies. Do they kind of cross over each other?
Yeah, that sounds a bit dirty, but anyway, they do kind of cross over. And as I said, it's kind of to keep me happy and stimulated, but they do kind of link and intersect. And like I make like music videos and I do hip hop stuff, but then through the hip hop, it's kind of educational because I think education is important, especially for young people to kind of break free of the stereotypes that have been created in the media and in their own heads as well.
Yeah. You have your own record label, Working Class Heroes.
Working Class Heroes would be a great name. It's called Working Class Records, yes.
Sorry.
It's kind of indie and we don't really have any money, so it's not like a record label, we just make music.
Yeah.
You know? Record label sounds to me like they have their act together and they know what they're doing. We just make music and make videos and have fun and, you know, do support gigs. Like we have a gig coming up this weekend with the Wu-Tang Clan. For those people who don't know them, they're pretty big.
Wow, that's really good. Wow. Like you said there with your record label, there's a lot of hip hop in Ballymun at the moment. Why do you think that's so big right now?
Okay, so I've been involved in kind of listening to hip hop for about 20 odd years. Show me age, I'm 38. So since I was about 30 years now. And about 7 or 8 years ago, I was approached by a few guys to say there's some rappers in the area and you don't really know what they're doing and they're speaking in American accents and they're putting themselves down. And I was working as a youth worker at the time, so they asked me to get involved. So I worked with a few guys for a number of years. We set up a record label and we started to do gigs all over the place. And since then, it's kind of grown in Ballymun and grown in Dublin. And yeah, that's kind of why. And also, we're in a recession and people like to be creative and express themselves in a recession when there's nothing else to do, like there's no jobs around like that.
Yeah, I suppose they have a lot to say.
Yeah, definitely in a community like this, there's a lot to say. It's interesting, hearing guys coming from more well-to-do communities rapping about stuff. There's no real kind of depth or quality or, real experience there. But when guys from an area like this rap about, being harassed by police or being miseducated in school, there's something there that you can really hold on to.
Yeah. You've been in Ballymun yourself now your entire life, haven't you?
Yeah, I have ventured outside a couple of times. They have.
Just the odd trip out.
It's only like 195 on the bus, so you can get out. It's handy enough.
And what do you think of Ballymun at the moment?
I think Ballymun is a community. Yeah. We do stuff, to take a line from a rapper that I know, we do stuff communally. Yeah, and I think that's one of the essence of community, is that we do stuff together, and I think that's a great thing. Apart from all the bricks and mortar, we have really nice people here. We also have, really organised criminals here who like to sell drugs and, do all that type of stuff. But, you can't have one without the other. I don't think we can, we're not Swedes, we can't live in a perfect society. But we have a really, really strong community here. And if we were in tents, we'd have the same community. It just so happens that we're in flats and new houses that were dodgily built by some kind of group that Dublin City Council set up.
Yeah. And what would your hopes be for the future of Ballymun then?
I think I would love jobs, but jobs with a purpose.
Yeah.
That's it, not just jobs to fill warehouses. That's kind of what I'd like. And gay marriage.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Okay, thanks so much, Dean.
Thanks very much. See you later.
Thanks.
That was Dean Scurry from Working Class Records.
That's it from us. Some of them will be back tomorrow. The show will be, I can't really promise anything about the summer part, right here on DCTV, UPC channel 802. Bye-bye.
Bye.